All righty, you are looking live. It's sold out MetLife Stadium where today the 16-0 and playoff bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 New York Jets. Why are the New York Jets 0-16? Because they suck. Welcome to the Gridiron. Hey, Jersey guys in the house. Anybody out there that's going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening? Thank you. If anybody's going to spend any time watching the replays, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. Thank you. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight. Shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free. Fire away, throw in the chat box. I usually try to check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes or so. So as soon as I see something in there, I try to respond to as fast as I can. So please feel free, fire away. But also, instead of me just rambling on for half an hour, 45 minutes, or whatever it might wind up being, it's just nice to talk to another Giant fan. So please feel free and fire away. Before I get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, the top link in the description box takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon, second one's called the Lawrence Taylor, and the third membership level I got is called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel, it would mean so much to me. I thank you in advance. Thank you. And also, additionally, in the description box, there's 2 additional links. The first one, the top one, is a Facebook link, which I'll go over in just a second. The second one, it's a Twitter. Takes you to my Twitter account. It's always been Twitter. It's Twitter today. It'll be Twitter tomorrow. It'll be Twitter 3,000 years in the future. Whatever letter of the alphabet Elon Musk wants to call it this day or month or whatever, that's on him. It's Twitter to me. If you follow me, I will follow you back. That's a promise. And also, additionally, there's that other Facebook links takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. We have over 6,900 members. We're getting close to 7,000 members in the group. It's doing simply marvelous. I'm putting stuff in there every day. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing, if I have internet access, there's stuff going in this group every day, darn near 365. And also, not only I put stuff in here, but if you become a member post stuff in here as well, too. So between me and the member, there's a ton of New York Giants information going in there, darn near almost 365, right? So if you join the group, please feel free. You won't be dissatisfied, shall I say. All right, well, all that stuff said and done and out of the way with. All right, well, the big games just keep on rolling in, don't they, huh? We're basically, on the brink here. As we know, we're, this close. There's not much, how do you say, right? Not much room for error, margin for error, shall we say. I mean, if you lose, we lose, But I'm just referring to, of course, as far as playoffs. I'm sure, we could stumble, a little bit. I mean, because we were talking about, with Jersey guys, I think last night, about the NFC is not really chock full of bona fide butt-kicking teams. I said you got the 49ers, the Lions, even those 2 teams have been kind of humbled the past couple of weeks. The Eagles, they suck. And then you got the Cowboys, right? They're going to play another weakish opponent tomorrow. Exactly. The Rams, the only thing I got my, what do you call that? What do you call that? The Suicide Squad, whatever you call it, the Suicide Squad poll or poll, whatever it is. I'm on the ESPN. The what do you call that? Hold on here. I had it. Where you bet you got to pick a different team to win each week and all that. Knockout pool. Yep, there it is. I thought it was like a suit, whatever. So I got the Cowboys tomorrow. So maybe I'll jinx them, huh? So if they beat the Rams tomorrow, I'll stay alive in the knockout pool, the ESPN knockout pool. But other than that, there's like 4 teams. Yeah. Well, as I said, to me, it's a win-win. If I win, I'm in the knockout pool for another week. It'll be go up to week 9. But if I lose, that means the Cowboys lost. So that'd be cool. I'll be fine with that. But so there's not, The Giants are only like one game out. I mean, the nice thing is we're behind the Commanders, but we already beat them once, so that's cool. We lost to the Cowboys, we lost to the Seahawks, and we lost to the 49ers. But all three of those teams, right now are on the playoffs. So we're kind of battling it out, really, for like one other playoff spot. I mean, as of right now, it's a long way to go. Going to beat the Jets tomorrow like Broadway Joe. We guarantee it. Well, I like our chances because I like Tyrod. The Jets got a good defense. No doubt about that. Our defense is doing pretty good too. Not too shabby. But I like our quarterback over theirs. Our offensive weapons. They got Wilson, their wide receiver, very good. We got some nice wide receivers. Maybe nothing to his capability, but I'd be interested. Maybe Banks can slow him down or shut him down, right? But they got Hall, but we got Saquon. I'll take Waller any day over whoever. They got some tight end, but I'll take Waller, and I'll take our quarterback, right? Their offensive line has not been super stellar, and neither is ours, right? So, but I like it because, because of the Tyrod factor. He's very, very good with the ball, and he's going to need to be good with the ball. Can't give we were talking about this last night. Can't give him nothing. Make him drive 70, 80 yards if they can. Right? Don't give him don't let him block a punt. Don't let him run a punt back or kickoff back or nothing like that for touchdowns. Hopefully, Gano kicks him into the end zone and they start. Fair catch or whatever it is. They started the 25 on the kickoffs. Hopefully, we can get down there on the punts and all of that. And it's almost to the point, where who the heck was it? I can't remember if it was Howard Cross or Jonathan Casillas or Carl Banks. It was one of the players, I think it was. It was talking like this week. It's like, dude, I don't even like punt as far as punt return. Right? Because kickoff, you can just, try to fair catch it, or maybe they kick it into the end zone. You don't have to worry about catching it. But like with the punts, you want to catch it because you don't want it bouncing and going another 15 or 20 yards, right? You don't want it bouncing at the 5 and checking up at the 1 or something like that. So you want to catch it. But basically, that's what you just hoping and praying. You just want a guy, if nothing, they don't even return it. Just catch it. It's almost pretty bad where you just can we please get somebody that can catch a punt? And that's what always kind of just kicks you in the rear end, like last week when they had, you see Jamison Crowder out there, right? And it's like, we're not finding much use for Paris Campbell. Sterling Shepard's not even on the field. We could, maybe get, if we let those guys go get Jamison Crowder, right? I'm sure we could have found 10, 15 snaps or so a game for him, but also let him return some punts too. So between 10, 15 snaps, he's returning. He's out there for 5, 6, 7, whatever punts. He's getting out there for 20, 25 snaps, which is not, I'm sure ideal for him. But then again, if somebody gets hurt, something happens to Wandell. He got injured 2 times last year. So, if Crowder was could be in the slot, if Wandell gets hurt, you put, so, but. We got to find somebody. But that brings me up to my next point. Olszewski, I think it is. It don't look like that. Let me tell you what. Okay, I got to find it here. Once again, I got 3,000. There we go. 3,000. There we go. Tabs open. Gunnar Olszewski or Olszewski. Because it looks like Olszewski, but it's Olszewski. Oh, not Olszewski, I think. I think that's how I heard them pronounce it. So that's not how it looks. But because he's been elevated, right? Now I think we got ourselves our possibly, quote, maybe, unquote, punt returner. I said the Giants made the following moves heading into the Week 8 matchup with the Jets. Gunnar Olszewski has been signed, right? Gary Brightwell. So now we lost Gray and Brightwell on injured reserve. And of course, then of course we had the three offensive linemen. Was it Peart, Lemieux, and Azudu? They all went to injured reserve as well too. But we activated Tommy DeVito and Oshane Ximines. So we got the X-Man coming up. So I mean, this could be big for him. If he's sick and tired of sitting on the practice squad, right? I'm sure he might get some snaps in there. Let's see what let's see if half the season on the practice squad. Let's see what that's done for the X-Man, right? See if that lit a fire under his rear end. Maybe he might come in and get a sack or so. That would be fantastic. The Giants could certainly use that. But at least with Gunnar Olszewski, I think that's how you pronounce it. Looks like he might be the punt returner. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I mean, so now we lost a couple of our running backs. But so we got Corbin, who's very familiar with the system, and then we got Breida and Brightwell. So at least we have the top two running backs anyway. I'm gonna be interested to see what the offensive line looks like. Is this going to be? We need to bring in the tuna. yeah, he was. Yeah, he get on him. He get on him good. It'd be interesting to see. Is this going to be? This is what the eighth game. Will this be the eighth different starting offensive line that we have or not? Tough to get continuity when every freaking week there's a different bunch of guys out there. And as soon as Andrew Thomas is healthy, he's coming back. John Michael Schmitz, if he's healthy, he's going to be there at center. Evan Neal, he'll be going out there at right tackle. So it'll be interesting to see. But we got to get some continuity. If we have any kind of luck and we can make some type of a run at it, you figure maybe the last half of the season here, if we can start getting some of these guys back and healthy, and then they can start playing together without getting injured, that would be very beneficial to the Giants, without question. Without question. All right, so the Giants, let's see. And then, well, I tell you, I don't know if this is good or bad. This is just, once again, just a rumor that you see here. It's from Bleacher Report. Giants eyeing Daniel Jones' return from neck injury in Week 10. So that means not next week against the Raiders, but possibly the following week against the Cowboys, when he got sacked 1,215 times and got hit an additional 42 million times in one game. Oh, my God. Whee! Oh, yeah, there you go. So he's coming back from a neck injury. He's going to have him start against the Cowboys. Yeah, okay. Well, once again, this is just a rumor. Who knows? So the Giants are reporting eyeing a Week 10 for Daniel Jones' return, according to Adam Schefter. And once again, I don't even know. Tons of things I don't know. Well, I mean, did the Giants call the NFL? I mean, I'm always boggled about this with Adam Schefter and these other guys. Do they call? Oh my God, we got to call Adam Schefter. We're going to let him know that we're going to possibly get Daniel Jones. I mean, who the? Why am I calling this? Who the is he? I mean, why they got to call him to get the approval to let him know? I mean, why does this little douche need? I mean, who is this little? I mean, oh my! They have to let the NFL know, and the NFL has to immediately call Adam Schefter with all this. I mean, why am I telling that little prick anything? I mean, according to Adam Schefter, the Giants have circled their November 12th matchup against the Cowboys as a possible return date but it's far from finalized. So somebody's calling Adam Schefter. Yeah, Shefty. Yeah, we're circling October 12th or whatever. Oh, was it November 12th? The matchup against the Cowboys. We're looking. Yeah, just want to let you know. Want to make sure you're the first one to know. I mean, who the f is calling him? I mean, Schefter added Jones could possibly return in Week 9 against Las Vegas, but that scenario is unlikely considering that he still has not been cleared for contact. Earlier Saturday, ESPN's Jordan Renan reported Jones took increased scouting team reps during Thursday's practice in a sign that he seems likely to return at some point over the next few weeks. So, but he's taking snaps, but he's not taking contact snaps, So Renan also noted the Giants presumably would have to put Jones on injury reserve and add another quarterback if they thought he was going to miss a significant period of time. After ruling Jones out for week game against the Jets, Dable made some comments that raised concerns about his starting quarterback status for the rest of the season. All I'll tell you is I meet with the trainers and the doctors, Dable said, and what they tell me he can do, that's what we do. Jones suffered an injury, of course, in the game against the Dolphins. So there's been indications that Jones is on the upswing. He didn't practice all week and was ruled out against the Bills. The Giants officially listed Jones as questionable last week against the Commanders, and he was able to practice on just a limited basis. He wound up being inactive for the game, but it was at least a sign of progress. So Jones, of course, this past week was once again limited in practice, but the Giants elected to rule him out early. Things haven't gone well for Jones. Yeah, we know all this stuff. Jones has been sacked an NFL high 15.6% of his dropbacks. Holy cow. So basically, would it be 3 out of every 20 times he drops back to pass? So if he drops back every 40 times in the game, he's going to get sacked 6 times. I mean, that's freaking pathetic. He's been sacked 28 times overall, second only to Sam Howell of the Commanders, 40. I feel bad for that guy. My goodness. How are you supposed to get the best out of the guy when, the guy can't even stand on his own 2 feet? He's running for his life. But Daniel Jones has been sacked 28 times. Howell's 40, but Daniel Jones has missed, he missed part of the Miami game, and then he missed the Buffalo game, and he missed the Commander game. So, but Taylor's looked better under center his last 2 starts. The 34-year-old is completing 64% of his pass attempts for 479 yards, 2 touchdowns, but no interceptions, which is huge, which he's going to need to continue to do that tomorrow against the Jets. The Giants entered the game against the Jets in last place in the NFC East with a 2-5 record. Their offense ranks last in the NFL in scoring with 12.1 points per game. It's even just start thinking it's almost kind of like, how do we 12 points again? How do we even? Who the hell is Mel Kiper? Yeah. Oh my God, we're having 12 points again. It's like makes we even won 2 games. I mean, actually, we almost beat Buffalo. I mean, could you imagine averaging like 12 points a game, and we could almost been possibly 3-4? I mean, it's crazy, absolutely freaking crazy. Who the hell is Adam Schefter? All right, so now we got this nice long. We got from the New York Post, the Giants breaking it down here. Here we go. Matchups: the struggling offenses, the surging defenses have the edge. From the New York Post. Oh, yeah. The battle in New York will be the battle to see who gets to 10 points first. Absolutely. Now, a lot of people are talking about like whoever gets to 20 points is just, is the winner. First team to 20 points is going to be like the winner. That's what they're saying there. Both teams, watch this one could be like a 24-23 game or something like that. You know what I mean? It's just something kind of crazy, So you never know. Both teams enter this game playing strong defense but struggling on offense. The Jets have the worst offense in the NFL on 3rd down and in the red zone. And that's simply amazing that their offense is worse in the red zone than the Giants. I mean, holy cow. Man, we've been bad in the red zone. Let's see here. The Giants went 220 minutes and 42 seconds. But who's counting, right? Without scoring an offensive touchdown. Holy cow. The teams are tied along with the Titans for the fewest touchdowns in the season with 8. So, you look at the Giants, they played 7 games and they've scored 8 touchdowns. 7 games, 8 touchdowns. The Miami Dolphins, of course, it skews it and all that stuff. But, the Miami Dolphins actually scored 10 touchdowns in 1 game. We've scored 8 touchdowns in 7 games. Holy cow. The Jets are coming off a masterpiece against the Eagles when they forced Jalen Hurts, who sucks, into 3 interceptions. Why? Because he sucks. And Philadelphia into 4 total turnovers because Philadelphia sucks. And they lost because Philadelphia sucks. The Giants sacked Washington quarterback Sam Howell 6 times last week and shut down the Commanders for most of the game. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. We only get this matchup once every 4 years. Yes, obviously not including the preseason, right? And though neither team has looked like a Super Bowl contender, this is a huge game for both. Yep. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, because the Jets would go 4-3. I mean, with a backup quarterback, with a good solid defense and a backup quarterback, and they go 4-3. I mean, Aaron Rodgers gets knocked out and they're 4-3. Hey. Way to go, Jets. Way to go. But this is huge for us. We go 1-5. How good can the Eagles be? They lost to the Jets. No, the Eagles suck. But I mean, you figure, we're 1-5. Now we're 2-5. If we become 3-5 with the soft part of our schedule coming up, and if we can start getting some guys back, I mean, Andrew Thomas back, Michael Schmidt's back, I mean, right? As I said, we got some winnable games coming up. Once again, I'm not saying we're going to win them all but got some winnable games coming up here. Definitely, without a doubt. I mean, this is the part of the schedule we were looking for. The Giants pass offense versus the Jets pass defense. You may have heard that the Giants offense has struggled this season. Nah, I haven't heard that yet. They have been particularly terrible in the passing game, and this feeds right into the Jets defense. That is a strong pass rush, and good cornerbacks. Oh, yeah. I mean, my goodness. I mean, even against the Eagles' offensive line, you look at some of the highlights or whatever the plays from. I mean, like Hurts gets the ball and it's like the pocket's just like collapsing on him. It's like, man, that's the Eagles' offensive line. I mean, that is an offensive line. And I said, I can never remember their offensive line coach, but that freaking guy is good. Holy crap, is he good? Let me tell you what, boy. If the Giants ever got somebody like, I can't remember the guy's name, but man, he is good. The Eagles, I forgot where they got him from, but the Eagles did themselves good there. Giants are 29th in the NFL in passing yards for 178 yards a game passing. Holy crap. This was like 1975. That wouldn't be too bad. That wouldn't be too bad. But, here we are 50 years later. 178 yards a game passing is pretty pathetic. The Jets are 15th in passing defense allowed with just 216 yards per game allowed. So, the defense is solid. The Jets have been opportunistic with 8 interceptions this season. Those have come against some of the top quarterbacks like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Jalen Hurts. Oh, yeah, Josh Allen and Hurts threw a bunch of them against them. Darrell will now try to test the Jets defense, which gets cornerbacks Sauce on the side, Gardner, and DJ Reed back this week. And they weren't even on the field against when they played the Eagles. Up front, the Giants' offensive line, which could have 2 backups starting at tackle. Yeah, gotta love to hear that, right? Could have a long day trying to stop Quinnen Williams, Bryce Huff, and Jermaine Johnson. Oh, yeah. Tyrod's going to have to think, get the ball out fast. The Giants have allowed 37 sacks this season, the second most in the league. I mean, so let's see. Oh, my God. We played 7. So they're giving up like 5 sacks a game. So that would be 17, 34. So that would be like about 85 sacks in a year. They're on pace for it, maybe a little bit more. I mean, actually more than that. 85, they're on pace for like 85 to 90 sacks given up in a season. Holy cow. The Giants have cleared 200 passing yards just twice this season. Oh, my God. The offense has made some strides with Taylor at quarterback. Tight end Darren Waller's having a greater impact than earlier in the season. But this is going to be a tough task against the Jets defense. Oh, yeah. But let's not forget about the Giants defense either. Let's not forget about them. Giants run offense versus the Jets run defense. Saquon returned from a high ankle sprain to give the Giants a run game a life over the past 2 weeks. Barkley rushed for 93 yards against the Bills and 77 against the Commanders. But let's not forget, he has had over 100 yards, total yards in both the games. So, which is huge. The Jets have been victimized by explosive runs this season. They're 26th overall in rushing defense, allowing 135.2 yards per game. So let's feed Saquon early and let's feed him often. But it has really been the big plays that have killed them. The Chiefs and Broncos both had long runs against them. So let's say, if anybody can get a long run against somebody for the Giants, it would be Saquon Barkley. So let's keep your fingers crossed. And if we don't get something early, just keep feeding it to him. As long as we're still in the game, keep playing your game, keep feeding the rock to Saquon. He might be able to bust one. The Jets did hold the Eagles to 80 rushing yards in their last game before the bye week. It was the first time that they held an opponent to less than 100 yards rushing since week 1 against the Bills. Barkley comes into this game with some added motivation. Yes, he grew up as a Jet fan, but had one of the worst games of his career, I guess the worst game of his career in 2019. He had 1 rushing yard on 13 carries. So basically, in Big Blue Kickoff Live, they were talking about he averaged less than 1 inch per carry against the Jets. He had one yard on 13 carries. He gained less than an inch per carry. That's pretty bad. He should be able to top that total on Sunday, but by how much? Well, Jets pass offense versus the Giants pass defense. For all the positivity the Jets are pushing about Zach Wilson, the team's passing game remains stuck in the mud. They are the worst passing team in the NFL, averaging just 159 yards per game. Wow. They have thrown just 4 passing touchdowns ahead of only the Titans. 4. They've only played 6 games, though, but still, 4 passing touchdowns and 6. I mean, once again, as I said, the Dolphins, I think, had 5 passing touchdowns in their one game against the Broncos. So Wilson has shown improvement with his footwork and decision-making, but he's not been getting the Jets into the end zone. He has not thrown a touchdown pass since October 1st against the Chiefs. Wilson also figures to be under plenty of pressure on Sunday. Yes. Giants defensive coordinator Wink Martindale is known for bringing the heat, and the Jets have given up 20 sacks this season. The Jets will have backups playing at right guard and right tackle. So look for a lot of pressure from the right-hand side of the Giants defensive front. From the left side of the Giants defensive front. The left side of the Giants defensive front, the right side of the offensive front for the Jets. So backups on the right guard and the right tackle. Could be a game changer right there for the Giants defense. The Giants are coming off a 6-sack game against the Commanders. So basically what they did was, they did what they were supposed to do, right? You go up against a team that gives up sacks. What do? You get the sacks, right? So you got to give them some credit there. The Jets will have to find a way to slow down Sexy Dexter, Leonard Williams, and Kayvon Thibodeau. Giants rookie cornerback Deonte Banks has talked openly about wanting to face Garrett Wilson. And the two played each other in college in 2019. Wilson is the key to the Jets' passing game and could thrive against the man-to-man coverage. But I'll take Banks. I'll take Banks. The man is not disappointed this season. So I will take Banks in a heartbeat. If they're going to, it'd be interesting. Is Banks going to follow Wilson wherever he goes? It'd be interesting to see. With their passing game struggling, the Jets will be leaning on their running game in this one. So let's not forget about Breece Hall. I think he's averaging, does it say here? Yeah, 6.5 yards a carry. Wow. That's wow. Okay. He had a long run, which of course skewed it a little bit, but still very impressive. The Giants have been susceptible to the run this season. Yeah, past couple seasons, allowing 137 yards per game rushing. But last week, they held the opponent under 100 yards for the first time this season. Because let's not forget, right? The problem they had, that especially last season, was maybe Leo Line or whatever, maybe, or a Sexy Deck may take on a double team or something. So maybe they got taken out of the way. But, so that leads the guys in the second level to either come up and maybe get off a block and make the tackle or fill the hole or whatever like that. And that just was, especially when we had Austin Calitro and Tay Crowder there trying to fill gaps for us last season. Wasn't happening. But this season, now Micah McFadden, because we know he's a downhill kind of guy. He's good. He did have a couple games there where he missed some tackles. everybody's going to miss some tackles. Hopefully, he's got some of the tackling bug, miss tackle bug, maybe shaking some of that off. Who knows? But we know he's good, plugging the holes, right, and going downhill. We know that. Very, very good. So between him and Okereke, they've done a very good job as far as, with the run defense. So let's hope the Giants can keep Hall under control. Let's see, the Jets are averaging just 117-yard rushing per game. They had 234 against the Broncos before the Eagles held them to just 89 in their last game. Well, the Eagles got a good rushing defense. Hall has looked explosive in his return from ACL surgery and averaging 6.5 yards per attempt. He is a threat to go to the end zone every time he touches the ball. Oh, yeah. But then again, so is Saquon. Special teams. This is going to be big. The Giants have had issues returning punts with 2 muffs last week. And they could have a new returner back there on Sunday with Gunnar Olszewski. The Jets are down some of their better coverage players with Justin Hardy on the IR and Irv Charles not expected to play. So that's good. Xavier Gipson is fully healthy and should be the Jets' returner again. He had issues on his own 2 games ago in Denver with 2 muff punts. Okay, now we're talking. But the Jets love what the rookie brings as a returner. At kicker, Graham Gano, who missed a 42-yard field goal, but he's 10 for 14. But Greg Zuerlein has stabilized the Jets' kicking situation that has been a revolving door for years. He has missed only 1 field goal this season and was 4 for 4 against the Eagles 2 weeks ago, keeping the Jets in the game. Those field goals were huge against the Eagles. Their punter, Morstead, also has been a steady force for the Jets this season. So then they got the coaching. Then they talk about obviously Dable and Saleh, the coaching. I like both coaches. It's kind of weird because I love both coaches. I think they bring a lot of passion and pride and all of that. I think they're both 2 very, very good coaches. But it's interesting. Saleh, defensive minded. Dable, offensive minded. It's gonna be interesting. Very, very interesting. Then they have the intangibles here. The Giants have a long list of injuries and can be without both of their starting tackles this week, as well as Daniel Jones and their center, quite possibly. Jets have had injuries on their own to deal with, but they're getting back their cornerbacks. It is a Giants home game, so to speak, and it will be interesting to see how the crowd breaks down. The Jets fans are excited after the upset over the Eagles, and they could show up in good numbers to the MetLife Stadium showdown. Absolutely. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, regardless, they're going to be Jet fans there. Now, in this article, it says the Jets have an edge in rest coming off their bye week. Yep, absolutely. This has not helped them recently, though they have lost their past 7 games following a bye week. Wouldn't it be great for time number 8? Isn't that weird? Like some teams are like they're a lot of it is with good coaching. I remember Andy Reid. I think he always seemed to have a phenomenal record. Like after having a bye week, having 2 weeks off to prepare for your next team. Like Andy Reid was always really good, but apparently the Jets have lost their last 7 games following a bye week. That's really sad. That's really, really sad. A lot of that is coaching. You got 2 weeks to prepare for another opponent, and you're fresh and all that stuff and everything. And maybe the team that you're playing, like the Giants, just came off of a tough battle the week before and you can't beat them. Wow. So that's tough. So, hey, advantage Giants. But, it's going to be should be a low scoring game. Everything is going to be magnified. Everything turnover that maybe leads to a field goal, or a field goal try that they miss, or once again, a muff punt that gives the other team an opportunity, an interception from Tyrod Taylor, an interception from Zach Wilson. So it's going to be real slobber knocker. Hopefully we get Saquon going. And once again, especially early on, if the drive ends in a kick, meaning an extra point, a field goal, or a punt, it's a positive. Just try to, limit the turnovers. And as I said, just keep feeding Saquon. I said, even in the first quarter, I think I brought this up last night, you give him 7 carries in the first quarter and he gets 10 yards. Okay. Second quarter, you give him another 6, 7 carries. He might get 15, 16, 17 yards. Well, it still sucks, but You're getting your point across. By the time the fourth quarter rolls around, if you give him 5, 6, 7 carries, he might get 30, 40 yards. He might break one. You know, they will choke. They always do. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. I mean, a lot of times, you know, I mean, if you think about it, a lot of times, like, you know, when Saquon has had some of those longer runs or long, you know, some of you think, I don't know, they seem like, I can't remember them all. But I just remember his first nice long one against the Jaguars, where he kind of cut to the outside, down the sideline. That was, I think, in the second half. He had that long one against I think it was the Redskins. You know, I think it might have been his rookie season or second season. Seems like some of his longer runs might be like in the second half. You know, when the other team is worn down a little bit. You know. You think Saquon is back next season? The Shane drafted quarterback? Yeah. Well, I tell you, it's going to be interesting to see. A lot of it, it's a lot of it's going to be, what the health of Daniel Jones is. I mean, it's going to be huge because if Daniel Jones, can he come back? Does he come back and does he get hurt again? Yeah, it's right. It's going to be interesting, like with Tyrod. We don't have him signed for next season. Do they bring him back? What do they think about DeVito? Do they think he can be the quarterback in the future? Yeah, so and also that too. It depends upon where the Giants are drafting. If we're in the top 10, I don't know. Could be. Like I said, once again, a lot of it depends upon Daniel Jones. I mean, it's so tough. I mean, there's a lot of evidence, or there's some decent evidence that just shows that, you can tell some guys, they got it. Patrick Mahomes, he's got it. Certain guys, they got it. Daniel, when things are going good and guys are popping open and stuff like that, things are good, But I mean, you just see a lot of times, like, who's it? The Seattle game, the guy who picked the pass off and ran it back for a touchdown, right? He even said in the interview after the game, they said something about the interception, blah, 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 whatever it was. And he said, well, I think he said on the tape from Duke, right? He said after the game, the Seattle guy picked the pass off, ran back for a touchdown. He said, yeah, I think he said something like, yeah, in the film, we noticed he like stare down his receiver. And he stares down his yeah. I mean, where's the Tom Brady at? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, bam. Where's that? The dancing. 1, 2, 2, bam. It's like a ballet. Bam, 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 bam. Where's that? It's like Daniel Jones. It's like, you're covered. Okay, I'm throwing to you. I don't care. Slayton's down the sideline wide open. I don't care. I see this guy right here. Just wait for him to get open any second right now. Here he comes, baby. I mean, I said, I don't watch all the film. I mean, like you get the NFL 22 or whatever, or 21 or whatever. You get all those like the different camera angles and stuff like that and all. But you see a lot of like stuff on YouTube. And people put out some good, really good, solid videos and all and everything. And I love it. That way I don't gotta have to spend my time doing it. But you'll notice sometimes it's like there's guys like wide open down the field. Why aren't you throwing the ball to him? Also Matt Ryan. They were talking to him, Schmelk and Lance Meadow. They were talking to Matty Ice, and they said they're talking about so what do you do? When that no matter what, you're going to get the ball within like 3 seconds, you're going to get your head ripped off. What do you do? And Matt, he's like, you got to lie to yourself. You got to tell yourself you're getting the ball, and you got to just lie to yourself. Everything's good. We're good. I ain't gonna have time on it. You got to like lie to So I mean, it's so hard because it's like we've like never ever given them a good fair. Daniel, remember in 2021? Remember that year we had 2 All-Pro offensive linemen. You had the most time to throw the football out of any quarterback in the league. Remember this? Remember we had We had Jerry Rice. We had Odell Beckham Jr. We had Darren Waller. You had Jeremy Shockey. Remember that? Those receivers. Remember that? The offensive line. And you didn't do too good. Remember that? Yeah. Okay. Well, that was that year. We hooked you up, and you sucked. Yeah. He's never had like a true number one dog receiver. His offensive line, right? Basically, this whole season, well, except for what? The first game, first 7.5 quarters. He didn't have Saquon after that. He got injured in the fourth quarter against the Cardinals, right? But after those next few games, he didn't have Saquon. He didn't have Andrew Thomas. His offensive line was a shambles. He still doesn't have a true number one wide receiver, So, so you got that on one hand, and then on the other hand, of course, you got, there's just some evidence there, but is that because he's so gun shy? He's like, as soon as this guy gets open, I'm throwing the ball. I'm not looking around. As soon as this, but they got to have him back for next season, no matter what. Now, the thing would be, to your point, would be if they draft a quarterback, if they do, just saying, if they're up high enough that they take, or say they take somebody in the second round, maybe, because Dable knows, he would know, maybe you don't take one of the top guys. Maybe he's like, this freaking dude from whatever, East Carolina, might be a second round. But I'll tell you what, I'm seeing stuff in him or whatever, or something. Or he tells what he wants to see. He tells Shane, look for this stuff. And Shane scouts this guy. He might fall to the second round. Okay, well, we fall to the second round, we're taking him, right? Because you're going to have Daniel Jones no matter what next season. You can't let him go. You have to have him for next season. You can let him go after next season. But and I think there's like a $20 million dead cap hit for 2025. But I mean, if you have Daniel Jones next season, right, and you draft the quarterback, right, he can sit behind Daniel Jones and learn the system and learn behind Daniel Jones. And the one thing you got to give Daniel Jones a lot of credit for is pretty much first one in, last one out. He does whatever he possibly can to do the best he can. Now that may not be the best, that may not be good enough on the field, but at least he puts the work ethic in. Right. So if you can bring somebody else in who sits behind him and puts in the work that he does, that's not bad. So a lot, I got to wait and see. I mean, as far as with Daniel Jones and quarterbacks and all that, we got so many other, we got a lot of needs, but, but obviously if you don't have a quarterback, good luck. Right. So, by the end of the season, we'll have to wait and see. So we've got a lot of questions. I said, do we want to bring Tyrod back? I mean, could you imagine if Tyrod keep winning games and Tyrod keeps holding the torch and maybe Daniel Jones comes back and somehow we get into the play? I mean, do you want to let Tyrod go? Wouldn't you want to bring him back for another season? So we got to have Daniel Jones back next season. If you want to bring Tyrod back, now you got your two quarterbacks. You got DeVito. How many you only maybe want to have two quarterbacks, I guess, on the 53. If you got DeVito on the practice squad, you want to let DeVito go and draft another quarterback, or if you draft a quarterback and you sign Tyrod. I mean, if you sign Tyrod before, because that's the thing I don't like about the free agency. That's why I just never like that, because it's almost like with Paris Campbell or something. You get these guys in free agency, right? And then you go into the draft and you start drafting some guys and all that. And then you're like looking, geez, we just signed this guy. We don't need him anymore. We just drafted it. I would like, let's have the draft, right? You get the best players available, right? Throw them on the team. Then you go, all right, you got free agency coming up. All right, we need a wide receiver. We can use a strong safety, a guard, blah, blah, blah. We need these four guys because we just had the draft, and then we'll fill in what we need with free agency. But it's the other way around. It's like you bring free agents in, and then they say, we're going to draft the best guys available. Okay, well, what if the best guys available is a wide receiver and we have five slot receivers? You're going to draft another slot receiver, even if this guy's great? I never understood that. It just didn't make, I think they said the I think that because with the draft, they had the draft like a month early. I guess with the bowl games, and they want the guys that to go through. I guess having the draft like in March. I think they said would be just too early. I think it is. Or if you had the draft at the end of April and you had free agency after the draft, I think they said something. They said something about that where they don't want the free agents being after the draft or like in what, May or something like that. So, but I never quite understood that. But it's gonna be interesting. I mean, it's a lot of stuff to go over. I mean, but what they got a lot of decisions to make. But a lot of it's going to be also, can we turn this ship around? Can we start winning some of these winnable games? Right? I mean, I said, man, because if Tyrod steps in and holds it, especially for the next 2 weeks, if we can beat the Jets and we can beat the Raiders, now we're freaking 4-5. Holy cow. Even if we lose to the Cowboys and we got some winnable games after that too. Wow. That's what I'm saying, man. I'd bring Tyrod back. And then you got to have Daniel Jones next season. Then where are you going to put a quarterback at? So I don't know. I said, I got a lot of decisions to make. I said Adoree Jackson, you're probably not going to bring him back, or you're comfortable with your cornerback, so you're going to want to draft the cornerback up high. Leonard Williams, he's probably going to be gone. Who's going to be your other defensive tackle or whatever with Sexy Dexy? Is it going to be Jordan Riley, DJ Davidson, Ashawn Robinson? You're going to bring him back, or we got Nacho for another? Because you put Nacho in there. We need an edge rusher because Azeez Ojulari. I mean, maybe Azeez might be back next season to play, but Azeez this year now. I feel good. I got my crystal ball out. Azeez is going to stay healthy this year. No, he's not. No, he's not. Yeah, I mean, he's an injury. So you need another. Even if you have Azeez, he said you got to have at least 3. You got to start rotating some of these guys in there. So we need another edge rusher. Yeah, we're going to get a number 1 wide receiver, right? What's the offensive line going to look like after the season's over? So man, we got a lot of Xavier McKinney, right? Are we going to pay him 10 million, 12, whatever he's going to want a season? Or we're going to be looking for another safety. So we got lots of questions. But that's all. Once again, it's all. Later on, tomorrow's the big one. Well, they're all big after this, but I mean, if we can beat the Jets and if we can beat the Raiders, because the Raiders aren't. I mean, they're right around the Giants. Anything can happen. So I said, so if we can wind up beating the Jets and the Raiders, wow, go 4-5 after being a laughing stock and being 1-5, anything's possible. Especially as I said, because I talked about before. I said got the Lions, the Raiders, the Lions, right? Then you got the Seahawks, you got the 49ers, you got the Cowboys, and you got the Eagles, right? Those teams. And then you have somebody from the South. So you got 6 teams, right? So you need one more team. So, I mean, as far as a wild card team, you got a bunch of mediocre teams, and the Giants are right there. So, I mean, but it all starts tomorrow. Ball security is going to be huge. Can't give the Jets a short field. Can't give them an interception for touchdowns. Got to be good on special teams, all that stuff and everything. So got my prediction. I said it last night. So that Dave will draft and develop his own guys. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Well, that's one thing the Giants don't do. I mean, it's if you go all the way back, I mean, I think it was like it was like about a year or so ago, there was a stat I saw that the Giants hadn't given a second contract to was it a 3rd round player? I think it was. Hold on here. Oh, what that? 2005. Let me see. Was it 2005? I think it was. Let's see. New York Giants draft. 2005. I think Justin Tuck. Draftees. Because I know because they didn't have the first rounder because they gave up They didn't have their first rounder. I tell you what, that 2005 was good. Not so much Eric Moore, the defensive, but they got Corey Webster, Justin Tuck, and Brandon Jacobs. But in 2005, they didn't have a first round pick because they gave that away. They drafted Merriweather, whatever he was, Sean Merriweather, whatever. The linebacker for San Diego. I want to be a good pick for them. But the Giants didn't have a first round pick in 2005. But it's like last year, I seen this stat that going all the way back to 2005 was the last time the Giants re-signed a third round pick to a second contract. It's like, oh my God, it's crazy. Jerry Reese. No, he was 2007. That was his first draft, 2007. Earlier course, he was 2005, 2006, and in 2007, that was Jerry Reese. That 2007, that was a real good, solid draft. It was not like Hall of Famers or nothing like that, but pretty much everybody except they had a tackle. Was it Adam Bisnowaty? Let's check this out. 2007. New York Giants draft. Adam Bisnowaty. I think he was the only guy. He actually played a couple games for the Giants. Was it him? Nope. It was Adam Coates. Adam Bisnowaty. Can't remember what draft he was in. Adam Coates. He played in a couple games, I think, for the Giants. But in 2007, all those guys pretty much helped contribute to the Giants Super Bowl. You had Aaron Ross, Steve Smith, Jay Alford, Zach Diassi, Kevin Boss, Michael Johnson, and Ahmad Bradshaw. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So out of those 8 guys, Adam Coates, he actually played in a couple games that season, I think it was, but he played in 11 career games. So he was, let's see. Oh, no, he didn't play in any games that year. He played in 1 game in 2008 for the Giants. 2. So he played in 11 games for the Giants. He didn't play in any in 2007. Okay, so I was wrong. I thought he actually played in a couple games, but I don't know if he was injured or not. That I don't know. Adam Coates. But out of those 8 guys, 7 of them were nice size contributors to the Giants Super Bowl run. But after that, I mean, a lot of Jerry Reese's drafts were like really. And he was good. Yep. Boss and Bradshaw. Oh, yeah. Yep. Oh, yeah. Bradshaw. Yeah. Boss. Steve Smith. Oh, man. Then he got injured. I mean, you just think about the injured guys like, of course, Victor Cruz, right? Steve Smith. He came back and he played with the Eagles. And I think he played with the Rams for a year or something like that. But his numbers just. Yeah, he still holds the Giants record. He has 100 and something catches in one season. And then he got injured, and then, it's just so many, Odell Beckham, right? Look at so many good wide receivers the Giants have had over the years. Hakeem Nicks, he got injured. I think Manningham got injured. It's like, it's almost like, any wide receiver we had, Plexico Burress shoots himself in the leg. Monty Toomer, he's the man. He's the man. He's relatively healthy. But, I mean, a lot of guys we've had, Sterling Shepard, right? A lot of good wide receivers we draft. They just wanted, even looking at Wan'Dale Robinson. Caught 1 pass last season against the first pass against the Titans. 1 catch for 5 yards. He missed the rest of the game. He missed the next game or 2 or something like that. I think it was his knee or something, whatever it was. Then against the Lions, he had like 9 receptions, 100 yards, whatever it was. And he was, missed all the rest of the season. Tell you what, man. If I'm a college player and I'm a wide receiver in the Giants draft, man, it's like, nah, man, I'm good. I'm going to go work at McDonald's, flip burgers. I'm good. I like my knees. You know what I mean? That's a shame, really is. Who's giving Jets fans nightmares? Oh, yeah, man. Oh, man, that was big because that play was just before the end of the first half. Now, there wasn't much time left, but we're at the 1 yard line. So even if he gets tackled like at the 10 and he's a yard or 2 short of the first down, we punt the ball, right? The Jets will have the ball maybe around midfield. I can't remember what the score was. It was 10-3 or 10-7 or something like that. But the Jets would have had the ball midfield, whatever it was, and they could have maybe moved up, maybe kicked maybe got a field goal, so maybe extended their own lead at halftime. Maybe it's a different game. Who knows? But I mean, with that Victor Cruz, that just turned everything around, boy. And in the second half, the Giants took over. Man, oh, that was awesome. That was freaking awesome. Good old Victor Cruz. But once again, he's one of the guys that got hurt. Of course, he got hurt against the Eagles. It's Really, really a shame. Well, guys, so I got the Giants winning. I got it. I said it last night. I got them 2-1. Giants get it safety, and the Jets kick an extra point. They get no touchdown. Take the under and take the Giants. And I think the Giants are like a 2-3 point underdog too. Man, even our home games, we can't even get no love. All right, guys, it's been almost 55 minutes. Jersey guys, good talking to you again, buddy. Yeah, we're back around 10:30 tomorrow. We'll do this again. And we'll talk about the New York Giants, the 3-5 New York Giants. So whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you. Or if anybody spends any time watching the replay, this once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. And as always, it's 3-day. You guys stay safe and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.